Kim's coworker was telling us that she had got nationwide pet insurance and that it was really good, really quick reimbursement. So I looked into it for Hank because I understood from doing rescue that bulldogs have a lot of issues and their vet bills can be very expensive. So I ended up getting him the whole pet with wellness because it was essentially full coverage, and it included congenital issues, which they have notoriously known for. So
I had previous insurance for a different dog of ours, and it really didn't cover anything. I wasn't very happy with it, and I felt like I was spending money monthly on basically nothing. So when Jenny mentioned that we should get pet insurance, and I knew of the congenital issues of bulldogs, I was thinking we might be throwing our money away.
So Nationwide was the only one that would cover congenital issues, and I think, from my understanding, it was a very new plan at that time. So I was very happy to see that. Otherwise, I don't think I would have got insurance at all because it wouldn't have been worth it, in my opinion. The week before Christmas, we started noticing that Hank was acting weird. He wasn't chasing the cat.
I noticed that a lot of his behaviors, he wasn't drinking, he was sleeping a lot, which for a bulldog isn't that unusual, but with his age, he was still very young. And it was maybe the third day that his behavior had changed. I literally crawled in the kennel with him, and I was listening to his belly sounds. I was trying to figure out what was wrong with him, and we made the decision right there to take him to the emergency room at MedVet.
So when we got there and they did all this blood work and they said, we think he's in kidney failure, he has this significant, bacterial infection in his body, we were like, what? We were very, very shocked.
It was very shocking.
He had to be admitted immediately.
His belly was huge, his liver had been failing, his skin color, all the white on Hank's body was yellow, his eyes were yellow. He needed a Foley catheter to monitor urine. He had multiple IVs. He had a central line going through him. The only thing he did not have was oxygen. He was very, very sick.
He got leptospirosis. It's this really weird and rare bacterial infection that they get from wild animals. We had gone in there and I left a shirt because I was like he.
She left she took off she had two shirts on and took one off and balled it up and gave it to him, and he just held on to it and he just looked terrified, and I think he really thought that we were going to leave him there.
We kind of had a family meeting and said, if he does not continue to produce urine, then we're going to have to, make the decision to euthanize him because otherwise we can't, we can't afford that. So the next day Hank was producing urine. So, he kind of pulled through, but then from that point on, it was he would need critical care for several days. Then the next decision was, how can we afford this? And so, thankfully, I don't think that if we didn't have the nationwide insurance that we would have continued care for him, because there's no way that we could have afforded that without it. Knowing that we would get reimbursed was very relieving to us to continue on with his care. Hank needed daily medications and fluids that was about $2,000 a day. So for the entire 10-day visit, it was almost $13,000 was the total bill, and nationwide insurance was able to reimburse us over $11,000 for that.
Between daycare and just daily living, and we just lost our other dog, and we were so upset, thinking we were going to have to tell the kids. At the time, they're 2 and 6 years old. Hey, sorry, you got attached to this puppy for a couple months. He's sick and he has to go too. And to know that Nationwide was there for us and carried us through that, and was able to not take away the kid's new dog on Christmas. I mean, it was pretty amazing. We can't be happier. We sent so many thank you letters to just random people through Nationwide, whoever sent us the insurance policies. We just wanted them to know how much it truly meant to us. He is fantastic, roly-poly. He looks like a chicken nugget running around. You would never know that he was so sick. Mm-hmm. He's a huge part of our life. He protects us, he thinks, from the mailman and from the squirrels. He plays with the kids. He babysits them as he thinks he does. He's the big brother. Mm-hmm. He makes us a complete family, and I don't think we'd be the same without him.